Yang. Okay, good morning, everyone. This is 24 movement Yang simplified form. We're going to run through the postures, the sequence, and actually do a few warm-ups. Just before we start, going forward, this class is probably going to merge with the evening class that's generally at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. So that typically is a 24 movement class live. So what we're going to probably do is merge it with that class. We'll probably do the warm-ups, and then I might break out of there and come into here and do more of a tutorial on that form. Meanwhile, the people on the other side will continue doing the forms as they usually do. Depending on your proficiency, we may go back and forth, depending on how it is. And one of the things I plan to do as we move forward with the streaming, especially sort of eliminating some of the direct morning streaming classes that will be, they'll still be archived, but going to sort of a YouTube membership, you'll be able to access those videos. And along with that, which is something I'm going to try, I don't know exactly how it'll work, but as part of a class, when I break out, I'm going to simultaneously have a Zoom scheduled at that time, and a handful of members can maybe tune in, and then we can do the combination of the Zoom platform, and then I can work on something that you had a question on. So that's the idea. Whether it plays out the way I'd like it to will be yet to be seen. So we'll see. That's going to probably happen in February, right in the beginning of February. And as you know, Lucien's going to be moving on to bigger and better things, actually doing a different type of a management position that doesn't, so he won't have time to do the morning stream. So we're going to kind of break up the strategy with a few of the instructors to do the evening Zoom, as well as the morning ones that I do. Thursday morning is going to go live again. So we have Tuesday morning, Saturday live. If I can, Saturday definitely we'll stream it out on the other days, Tuesday and Thursday. If I can get the unit to be turned on, or one of the instructors can turn it on remotely, then we'll stream out that class as well. So Tuesdays and Thursday will be going live. So anyone that has been coming on Tuesday typically would continue to come on Thursday. We have few people that have joined the Zoom class, the live stream class, and we'll continue to do that, but it's going to be more of a live class. Okay, so hands up, turning 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. Okay, to the side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up. Reach down, 1, 2, 3, to your right, to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Hands up. Reach down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands on your waist, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, cross, knees, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, hands on our waist, neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Center, rotating down. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center, hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. So anyone that follows the Taichi paradigm class, you would know that these first series of exercises are the same ones that I do in that class. And then we kind of switch up and do some of the drills or limbering up exercises that would be more compatible with this. But actually, they kind of cross-train, in both classes because there's different exercises and there's benefits to doing, both sets. And all of it is really just freeing up the body, increasing range of motion, and getting our body sort of a little bit acclimated to the next series of movements. Okay, then we're going to go into a little bit of stretching. This helps us work with the downward postures or actually just increase the range of motion. Now, we think that we probably would get stiffer and less limber as we get older, and it's true, but it's not because just purely an aging factor. What is this? Because of the inactivity and the lack of doing this. So if you continue to stretch and you continue to have a sort of a small objective of getting, um, an increased range of motion, then you work toward it and you can maintain your limberness based on where it was when you started, and then actually increase it because we learn to relax a lot more. We get the musculature kind of working with the skeleton so that we can avoid some of that tension that's sort of restricting the motion. So flexibility, it comes in different forms. Some are just naturally more flexible than others because the ligaments and tendons, are genetically made up that way. And some people are just very tight, and it's the type of muscle that you have, or it's the type of um, maybe a mental or psychological level of how your body responds. A lot of times, stress and reactive tension comes from situational things, but, normally some people are just a lot more tense, or like, they have a term uptight. Some people are more uptight than others. So that's uptightness is not just an attitude, it's also a body response. And then we go to the center, and I always advise not to do the big stretch if you're not used to it, but if you're used to it, then we let it spread. And it opens up as far as you can. Your muscles will reach its limits, and then you kind of wiggle through it and let the muscles kind of release. Now, there is discomfort and probably some pain associated with stretching. It's kind of individual based on, your ability to stretch and the ability or even know how to stretch. But most people that are very tight, the tendency is not stretching because it hurts and they don't actually enjoy it. But stretching really is vital in avoiding that tension, and also in building a relationship in the two groups of muscles that are actually working, together. So groups of muscles actually work together, and we create these actions based on what we direct the muscle to do. So as strange as that sounds, it's exactly what actually has to happen. The mind is the director. It tells the body what to do. But the mind can only tell the body what to do if it has a certain amount of information. So what it doesn't know, it can't tell. So, it kind of, and even as simple as that is, it's probably people don't realize that that's what's happening, and people don't think about it in general. Okay, so that's a bit of stretching. We can actually go like this and do a few of the downward posture type things, and that works the inner leg. I think my mic is on, and it is, because when the phone rings, I think I'm doing something that's not good, like my mic might be off. Okay, and stretch again. So this is your downward posture. You're like this or like this, depending on where it is in the form. You're like this. You're coming down the leg, and you're going up the leg. You're going down and up and down and up. You're going down and up, down and up. So that's a balance in motion. But the thing is, the coordination involved with doing that means that this leg has to do that, this leg has to do this, and it kind of works together. It does take some practice and effort, but again, all movements are somehow tied to the motor skill. So the two groups of muscles, the two appendages have to be working as a relationship. So with downward postures and shifting a weight, going back and forth, this really has to be something that happens as you build the coordination. So the harmony in the body, the relationship is built over time. So with Tai Chi, we actually do a lot of integration of body, and the coordination that you build is tremendous. So as prevention of age-related degeneration, regardless of what kind of exercises you do, certain ones will be better than others to build coordination and this kind of integration. You're not going to get it by doing, because training is very specific. So if you're doing treadmills or you're doing, stair climbers or whatever, you're working toward building cardio with those specific motions, and you will get better at whatever you do. So if you're building cardio, you're building strength, or you're building stamina, some of those machines, you see it on TV all the time, they're pushing it, and all the young people are doing it because they get a lot of calories burned. You got to burn a lot of calories to lose weight. So a lot of times it's not the calories burned that takes off the weight, it's the food consumption. You have to monitor that more than anything. Proportioning the food is kind of the first stage, and then the type of food, that's left more for the nutritionalist and maybe someone that can help you if you're trying to do that. But with movement, this is what I specialize in integration of body, and how do we move our body to gain the most benefit, and what type of movements actually work with preventing age-related degeneration. So it's something that I truly believe in as I age. I'm not a young person either, but I continue to do this, and I don't see a total degeneration. At least I don't notice it. So balance, flexibility, range of motion, aches and pains. I don't have a lot of those issues normally with someone my age. So I think as far as age-related prevention, I think this is a great exercise. If you continue to do it, you get the benefits. And some of you that have been following probably have experienced some of that. So anyways, so we start off, right? We got to do a few wrist exercises. In fact, I'm running out of time. I'm kind of talking a little bit more. But I think while you're learning these movements, it's good to understand why you need to do these movements, and at the same time realize that once your movements get into more of this, what we call the subconscious behavior, the movements happen sort of without a lot of thought. That happens with the sequence, and also happens with your postures, but that's part of muscle memory. There's a level of sequential memory. So, all of these types of memory are actually memories that we possess as humans, and we use those to learn and to do things and to develop skill levels, consistency. Skill level and consistency is something that happens in any discipline, in any type of learning. Okay, so we did this. Now we're going to do a little bit of the circles here. Let's say all these exercises I do sort of a minimum so that you kind of can see that these things can be done. What you don't know, you don't know. So by seeing this is how we move, you can take it to 24 on each side. You copy the motion, and you see the way the body is moving. Okay, so that's really the visual learning. You pick up an idea of what you can do with the motion, and then you kind of run with it. If you like that specific motion, or you think that feels good, do that a little bit more. If you have trouble doing it, then you should focus on that motion until you can build the coordination. And once you build the coordination, don't go crazy with it. You just have to do it regularly. I say 12 to 24 would be about the most you would do. At least that's my recommendation. Because if you go beyond that, and we do so many different exercises, it will take you 3 hours to get through them. So anyways, so that's the hip exercises. Those are those exercises. And then with the shoulder, you can do a bit of shoulder stretch here, taking it over to this side and over to this side. Okay, we want to work the shoulders. We lift it up. We cross the fingers. We intertwine them like this. We bring it out to the front. Okay, we have this, and we invert the hand. We take it down here and invert. So you get a little stretch in the fingers. This is not the only way you can stretch your finger. You can take your finger and do this. You can do this. You can stretch any type of movement that takes you in a direction till its point of limit, and then you put a little bit of pressure. If it starts to hurt, that's probably the limit, but this really shouldn't hurt. It's just really stretching and letting the ligaments and the tendons and the muscle let go so that it allows you to create a folded position like that. I mean, it has limits because of the length of those ligaments and tendons and how much you release in the musculature. It has to let go so that it doesn't conflict. Okay. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to go through the form first because it's something that we should, at least get done, in the session anyways. So you have this preparation, and we're down. Folding the knees to sink. Hold the ball open, the stance. Part the horse's mane 3 times. And stork flaps wings. Brush knee. So basically, we go through series of postures, and I do it slowly so that you can see there's a transition and there's a body form. That's the image. Go back 4 times as repulse the monkey, retreat and repulse the monkey. Focus on the hands and the legs so that you could see that it's moving in conjunction with each other, right? They complement each other in many ways. The next movement is grasp the sparrow's tail, or sometimes called the 4 energies. Ward off, roll back, press, and push. That's the left side because my left foot is forward. Here's the right side. Ward off, roll back, press, and push. So if you didn't pick up on it in the beginning, when we ward off, the front foot is flat. When we roll back, the front foot is flat. When we press, the front foot is flat. When we sit back for the last push, the toe goes up. So you get kind of a combination of that front foot position. Okay, so once I finish that, I'm going to turn by waving my hands like this. I hook my wrist to go to single whip. Then I go back to and reset the front and center, and I'm going to do a series of cloud hands moving to my left. And if you counted them, there's 6 hand movements and 3 steps, and then we're going to hook and then go out back to single whip. I shift my weight. That's the half step that we did earlier. It happens in strum the lute, stork flaps wings. This is palm strikes face. We go to the corner and we lift up and we do a heel kick. Then we go down and we do the 2 punches to the ear, meaning they're punching toward the temple, and it's about that circle that we talk about. It's the upper hoop. Then we turn and then we do a heel kick on this side. Then we hook the wrists, okay, and this knee stays up. And then we're going to go down into the downward posture. This scoots down the leg. You shift your weight and then come straight up. Then you turn, hook your wrist, slide down, turn into this front foot, shift your weight, the hands swap. This goes down, this goes up. As you go up with the knee, then we're going to this side and we hold the ball. Open the stance, Jade Lady work shuttle. Pass through center, hold the ball, and these are to the corner. We shift, do that half step, plant the foot right behind the front left foot, insert the needle, cross the arms, and you're going to do fan through the back. So different from Wu, only because of the stance. Okay, we turn, that's turning to parry and punch. And here's your punch. Here's your cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountains. That's a two-handed push. It's parallel and square. Okay, so once we're here, we sit back and you turn toward the front. That's where we started. The hands open. And then you come up with the hands crossed. And then go to parallel and close. Okay, so the closing movement, we don't actually haven't gone over very much, but we end up like this, and you go down, up, open, and close, or here again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see different versions. We practice this position. So that position is like when we do deep breathing. This over the head is like when we did the kick. And we have it over here. So actually all that is a big arc going forward. Then they merge, and then we kind of go to the parallel arm position, so that ends up like this. And then we sink the elbow and close. So circular movement, sink the elbow, relax the shoulder, and the circle is not behind you, and it's not. So if you feel your back tightening up, that means your shoulders are in the wrong position. When you go forward, your shoulders should be slightly in front of you, because you're kind of hollowing this area of the shoulder. If you pull them back, this kind of fills up. When you roll the shoulder forward, you have this emptying over here. Well, when it empties, that means that muscle is not contracted, and it's freeing up the direction of that movement so that it comes through your center. Now this is firm. You could feel it right there, that there's a muscle there that's kind of contracted, and it fills that space. And then when you turn your elbows and you go like this and close, you sink your elbow and you end up like this in a parallel stance. Okay, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So, that's the whole form. We didn't do the postures separately. Those are a lot of separate videos. A lot of those videos, we're going to try to organize them a little bit better than it is now, because we have a lot of video on there. And it is, for some people, as they have addressed it to us, that it's hard to find the videos. And I guess I don't do that, so I'm not sure exactly how it can be organized. And I'm not sure exactly which video has what content, because there's so many of them. So maybe we're going to try to get a couple of people that might know a little bit more about that once they get familiar with the streaming tools. that they can maybe help out with organizing some of that stuff. But at the same time, as you probably got the email that we've been following the protocol with the CDC, and we've done the temperature testing. We keep the place clean, and we don't allow people to touch with the drinking. We wear masks throughout the class, and we open the windows. We have a lot of ventilation here. The space is very big. We have the social distancing, and we have so forth. But I don't know if you can see it, but there's a machine there that's a black machine. It's produced by a company called Valara. If you can find out, we'll send some of that information out to some of the members. It's an air purification system. We've had that in for over a week. It purifies the air. It also can kill, it's called the surface and air purifier. So it actually has molecules of oxygen, I guess, land on surfaces, and when a virus hits it, it would actually destroy it. So we've had that. I got that those two units as a level of precaution, because if there's any airborne bacteria or the COVID virus, if it's in the air, that machine will take care of it. We haven't had any incidents that we know of anybody really being sick here. We haven't had a higher temperature than 98.1 over the period of time since July. We've had one incident, and this is what I wanted to bring up, is that one of our instructors was tested positive recently because of, it was 2 weeks ago, because of a daycare person that had gone to treat his parents. His parents came back negative. He actually ended up positive, but we don't know. Sometimes the test could be wrong. But anyways, we took it in upon ourselves because we take attendance. We know who attended the classes and had any contact with them. So anyone that had contact with him within the range of being infected got tested. We all came back negative. I had 2 tests. Many of the other people had 2 tests. We came back negative, and anyone, because the space is so large, we don't actually feel that anyone that's on this side of the room had contact with that person. So if we came back negative, and I have direct contact with this person all the time, direct contact because we teach, and I might use that person as a demonstration. So I would say I would be the closest to that person. That we're the only 2 that probably would get that close, but the thing is, I didn't get it. I tested negative. So just want to let people know that our things that we're doing have worked. We don't have any cases here, and that instructor's coming back because his doctor told him he's free to be back on Friday, in fact. So the protocol that we've been following seems to be working. We don't have situations here, and this is just to give you some confidence that when you do come back, it's going to be safe. We have these machines going that have been running 24/7, and it does many things aside from filtering the air and killing the bacteria and the viruses. It also has ionization that I could turn on the off times, because I understand it's not good to have that running during periods where there are people here. So we have a lot of off time, and it's just another level of security for people that are here, and for people that intend to come back in February or April, whenever you decide to come back. It's a choice, but just to let you know, nothing has spiked or nothing has happened or changed. Even though one person was tested positive, we all ended up negative. So it just shows you that what we're doing does work. So what can I say? All right, I'll see you next time. I'll keep you posted about when those changes are going to be, and some of you are following regularly.